So brothers, this Sunday we are getting a massive boxing fight. Canelo Álvarez versus Terence "Bud" Crawford. If you're someone who enjoys boxing, I highly recommend you watch this one because it's a true high-profile matchup. Two of the very best in the world stepping into the ring together. First, we discussed the rumors that Crawford had a shoulder injury and might not fight.
It seems that you have some kind of problem in any one of your shoulders. Can you just clarify what is your position about those rumors?
Yeah, my shoulder messed up, everyone. So don't tell Canelo. It may be the right, maybe the left, but it's both of them. I'm having problems with my shoulders. Shh, keep that under wraps.
Basically, you can call this a fantasy matchup. Crawford is moving up from a lower weight class to challenge super middleweight champion Canelo Álvarez. And in today's video, I'll be breaking everything down for you. Both fighters' styles, their careers, how their strengths and weaknesses might play against each other, and ultimately, my prediction for who I believe will win. I'm a huge boxing fan myself. Even though my channel mainly covers MMA, whenever a fight of this magnitude happens in boxing, I have to cover it. And this one is absolutely crazy. On one side, you have the undefeated Terence Crawford, a man who has looked unstoppable in the welterweight division, and on the other, you have Canelo Álvarez, the superstar of boxing, who has dominated the super middleweight division for years. This is why this fight is such a big deal, and honestly, I think it could end up being the biggest boxing event of 2025. So, let's start with a quick overview. Crawford, as I said, is a welterweight boxer moving up to challenge Canelo at super middleweight. Now, Canelo at middleweight and super middleweight has proven to be one of the toughest fighters to beat. Honestly, I don't think there's anyone in those divisions who can challenge him easily. Crawford, however, has one huge thing going for him. He's never lost a fight. That undefeated record gives fans belief that if anyone can shock the world, it's him. Canelo, on the other hand, does have 2 losses. But let's be real, those losses came against absolute greats. One was to Floyd Mayweather almost a decade ago, and the other was against Dimitri Bivol at light heavyweight when Canelo himself moved up. So yes, Canelo is not undefeated, but his resume speaks volumes. Bob Arum mentioned that it would be very difficult for Terence Crawford to defeat Canelo.
What do you think of Crawford-Canelo? There's a lot of talk about that.
I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him. But Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner.
Why do you feel he wipes the floor with him?
What?
Is it because of the weight difference?
Because Canelo, Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and and I don't think that Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt Terence.
Now, what makes Crawford dangerous? His jab. He's known for using it with incredible effectiveness, especially in the early rounds. Just look at his fight against Errol Spence Jr. Crawford's jab control completely broke down Spence, who was considered one of the top fighters at the time. Crawford also switches stances effortlessly, mainly orthodox, but very comfortable in southpaw as well. This makes him unpredictable and stops opponents from implementing their game plans. If he can keep Canelo at distance in the early rounds, that could cause real problems for the Mexican superstar. But speaking of Canelo, we all know his style. He represents classic Mexican boxing. Aggressive, powerful inside fighting, and relentless body work. Canelo loves closing the distance and working inside, digging to the body and then moving upstairs with those famous combinations. Body, body, head. His chin is battle-tested, and he has absorbed shots from the very best without backing down. Because of his shorter reach, Canelo often has to cut distance. And yes, that means he sometimes eats shots while closing the gap. But once he gets inside, he imposes himself with body shots and then builds up to head attacks. Against a naturally smaller fighter like Crawford, Canelo's physicality and power will feel significant. That's where Crawford could be at risk. Now, brothers, let's be clear. In this fight, Crawford is the underdog. He's moving up 2 full weight classes, and Canelo is already proven at the top of super middleweight. On paper, Canelo has the size, power, and experience advantage. Still, I'll never say it's impossible in combat sports. Crawford's speed, his jab, and his stance-switching style do give him chances. But when I look at Canelo's frame, his power, and the way he imposes himself, especially in the later rounds, it becomes hard to see Crawford surviving the physicality for 12 rounds. My prediction? In the early rounds, Crawford may find success using his jab, controlling distance, and keeping Canelo at bay. But as the fight goes deeper, around the 5th or 6th round, I believe Canelo will begin cutting off the ring, landing body shots, and breaking through Crawford's defenses. And when those clean shots start to land, that's where Crawford will truly be tested. So my pick for this fight is Canelo Álvarez. Yes, betting against an undefeated fighter like Terence Crawford is tough. He's 31-0 with knockout power of his own, but I think moving up 2 divisions against someone as experienced and powerful as Canelo is simply too big of a challenge. Again, I'm not saying it's impossible. Anything can happen in boxing, but my money is on Canelo Álvarez to win this fight. So that's the breakdown, brothers. Now it's your turn. Drop your predictions in the comments. Do you think Canelo will defend his legacy at super middleweight? Or will Terence Crawford pull off the upset of the year and remain undefeated? Share your analysis with me, because I always enjoy reading your insights. It helps me learn and makes these discussions even better. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one with another update. Until then, take care.